This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Well, hello again and welcome, Rich Lerner, alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobila. We are in the great state of North Carolina, set to kick off the round here at Quail Hollow. Frank, it is one.
A good reason, Rich. Great layout. Also, we said hello to Rory McILROY and Ricky Fowler. They recorded their first ever PGA Tour wins at this very golf course.
Frank, this is not an overly long opening hole at 418 yards. What's the best play?
Something down the left, using that slope of the fairway to kick it to the right, and just try and avoid that bunker. Either go past or short of it. Oh, if this is up, it's good.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
That is a green in regulation as the approach shot hits the first green, but he is by no means in for par yet. A lengthy putt coming up. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
It's a good-looking putt right here. You might like it. This one looks good. Might like it. Oh, they're going to love it. What a putt. Frank, this is a really fun hole. A pretty short par 3 downhill.
Yeah, half a club, you can allow for that, so it won't play its full yardage. But when they stick the flag on the left, you really have to be precise. Oh, nice strike, Rich. Not quite directly in line with the flag.
Just drifting a bit to the right, but he'll settle. Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
That was not a very good read right there. And getting ready for the putt. -1 in the early going. Frank, here at the third, players facing a challenging tee shot.
For a number of reasons, Rich. One, that the hole bends to the left. Two, that the fairway starts to run out. And 3, the length of the second shot. You get rewarded the better you hit your tee shot down here.
We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
170, that's the number, and it's the second shot. Jordan Spieth backed up his historic Masters victory with a second consecutive major. He won at Chambers Bay, the Thriller with Dustin Johnson, 3-putting the final hole. 2 majors in a row at the age of 21. That's special territory.
It is, and his confidence continues to grow. He's already showing us he can win in a multitude of ways after making a mistake on the 71st hole, the par 3, 17th to bounce back, hit a wonderful 3-wood into the middle of the green, apply a little bit of pressure on Dustin Johnson. You referenced the 3-putt, but you had to be there right next to him, last man standing. And once again, Jordan Spieth, too tough.
And a chance to become the first since Ben Hogan in 1953 to have won the first 3 professional majors of the season. Fell just a little short at the old course at St. Andrews with Zach Johnson winning.
Well, he kept the dream alive, certainly for us to watch, and every bit of the way. Could have easily made that 3-man playoff at the end. Take nothing away from what Zach Johnson did, but really the story of the week, of that particular week, right up until the final hole, really was Jordan Spieth going for 3 majors.
Frank, this is a muscular par 4 here at just under 490 yards, the 4th at Quail Hollow, a difficult proposition.
It is, but fortunately that tee shot plays a little downhill. But one of the difficulties with the tee shot is the fairway kicks from right to left. So it needs a good one to keep it on the fairway, and another green that has 3 different levels.
Beautiful looking shot right here. 320 yards, just crushed it in the fairway. Second shot now at the 4th. Bunkers guarding the front corners of this green. Headed for the bunker, I think. Not his best shot, and now he'll have to deal with a bunker.
Yeah, they say the hardest shot in golf, the next one.
All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know, it might just go in.
You see that kind of work from the bunker, you think of the greats like Seve Ballesteros and Gary Player, the best bunker players of all time. So close. Oh, you can see the frustration. Almost kicked his putter head right there with a drop shot here at the 4th. So with that, the score is now at even par. Now to the first par 5 here at Quail Hollow, the 5th hole. It's 570 yards, and it would seem, Frank, that this tee shot sets up well for a guy like Rory McIlroy.
It does. Someone that hits it long and moves the ball right to left, and that's what you're going to have to do here. One of the main reasons for that is not necessarily the dog leg, but the fact that the fairway, Rich, slopes away from you. It slopes to the right and away. So that makes that tee shot so much more difficult. Rich, there's rough and rough. That ball is needle nose down.
Can't even see it from here.
This looks like it's heading for the bunker.
Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. All right, now another shot from the rough.
Yeah, this time better be better than the one we just saw.
Frank in a bit of trouble here at the par 5, missing the green on that third shot.
Yeah, just battling to make par. And this is going to be difficult.
Frank looks like maybe the greatest bunker player of all time right there.
Well, he's making a name for himself today. You could certainly put him up there with Gary Player, Severiano Ballesteros. That was just a great bunker shot. Even par currently.
Did the job right there. Now set to tee off at the 6th. It is a long par 3, 250 yards.
We could take a little bit off for the downhill, but whichever way you look at it, it's still going to be a beefy par 3. Protected on the left by that front bunker, and if you sort of scoot one long, there's another bunker over there as well.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Frank had hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he's thinking on that.
Jordan Spieth ready for his second shot. You like this one, Frank?
Oh, it's a good one. Safely on.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. That's a par, and that keeps the scorecard clean, still even for the round. Frank, there's a lot to chew on here as you get to the tee at the 532-yard par 5 7th.
In today's game, 530 plus change you'd think is incredibly short. And look at the trouble in front of you. Water all the way down the right side and around that right side of the green. Bunkers left. This is not for the faint of heart.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards. Frank, there's really great history here at Quail Hollow.
Yeah, it's a private members club, Rich. Was founded by James Harris back prior to 1960. We know it hosted the Kemper Open from 69 through to 79, the Payne Weber Invitational from 83 to 89. And now, obviously, it's the host of the Wells Fargo Championship ever since it debuted back in 2003. Hazard.
Maybe wet. So toweled off, dried off, and ready to go.
Yeah, let's hope this swing he hasn't still got the floaties on.
Was wet. Frank, this is one you don't practice, but sometimes you have to do it. Time for the drop.
Yeah, it should be the easiest shot in golf. You've just paid for it.
NASA, we have a splashdown. So it's been a tough hole. Previous shot went into the water, took the drop. This now, the 6th shot. Frank, here we go again. Another shot from the rough.
Yeah, let's see if he learned his lesson.
That looked like a miss hit, Frank.
The lie was okay. It's a little surprising. Maybe wrong club.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Just a couple of feet. So with that, 3 over par now for the round. Frank, in modern professional golf, we're seeing more and more drivable par 4s, like the 8th here at Quail Hollow, 350 yards. What do you think of this hole?
It's not a bad hole. Drivable, some might say, but the angle of the green means it's hard for that tee shot to keep on the green. But I think the reward for hitting a driver is try and sort of aim at that tree just left of the green. And the reason why is then you've got to pitch up the direction of the green. This is a really narrow green.
Not the best shot, this one in the rough, but still will have a play from there. Well, certainly playable from here. Ball is in the first cut, not too bad. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Frank, not close, but not bad either.
You can always make the odd 20-footer, and that's exactly how far they are away.
Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
Ooh, that hurts. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Getting set now over the putt. Hasn't been easy, but he'll take it. That's a par. 3 over for the day. Frank, this is a really good way to finish out the front side here at Quail Hollow. 495-yard par 4.
Yeah, it's the longest par 4 at Quail Hollow. Some say it might be the toughest. I'm not quite in that camp. And the reason why, that green slopes in from both sides, the left and the right. But you can see why good drivers have done well here, because there's a big reward for thumping a big, long, straight drive down here.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Frank, this is a way to make golf easy when you can hit it that deep.
Oh, I'm going to say, I know that first number's a 3. I'm guessing the second one's a 2. Let's call it 320.
Birdie try up next. This would be a bonus from 25 feet away. On the way. And he has it, Frank.
I don't believe it.
Rich Lerner alongside Frank Novello for EA Sports, back at Quail Hollow, getting set to kick off the backside. And the 10th is a good par 5, Frank.
It certainly is. Hole bends a little to the left. There's the bunkering down that left side that you've got to keep slightly right of. Second shot plays ever so slightly downhill to a rather narrow green, and if anything, you want to favour that left side.
Second shot coming up here at the par 5. Getting set for this next shot from the rough. What does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing. Should be safely on deck.
Early part of this second nine, a good approach shot. Now, pretty good chance for birdie. So coming off the birdie on the previous hole, a chance now for yet another one.
And momentum all in his favor. Let the birdie blitz begin.
Now to the par 4 11. Frank, what do you think of this hole?
It's an interesting hole, Rich, and I'm curious to see how aggressive players will play here today. The easy way, obviously, is just hit it down the right side and set up a nice second shot with a short iron. Or the most fun way is to take the big stick out and try and bite off as much of that corner as you choose, but be prepared to pay the price should it not come off.
Beautiful looking shot right here. Frank, not the longest hitter, but sometimes you win tournaments by putting it in a good spot, and that's where we are right here, 280 yards out.
Yeah, 280 down the middle of the fairway. That'll never get you in trouble. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Not enough on that one.
Yeah, it just seemed to baby it.
Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means.
Great shot out of the rough. He avoided all the troubles just to get that on the green.
That was not an easy shot. He'll settle. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
So they'll tap in. Well, it was bound to come to an end at some point. Drops just one shot after that terrific stretch of birdies. Frank, I think the mark of a good golf course design, changing directions. We go from a right to left hole, now at the 12th, to a left to right hole.
Yeah, there's no two holes at Quail Hollow that look the same. And this one's slightly downhill. Fairway tilts a little bit to the right. And it's a bit of a sleeper. And plus you add in on top of that 450 yards plus. This is a fairway that has to be hit.
Frank, this one is right and is wrong. Well, he pays a price for that.
Yeah, when you don't see the top of the ball in the rough, you know it's not sitting pretty. You need a bit of force to extract one out of there.
So missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
Third shot for Jordan Spieth. And he's made it onto the green. Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. Needs birdies at some point, but will take the par to stay at 2 over. Here we are at the par 3, 13th hole. It's 210 yards. What does it take here, Frank?
It's one actually where you'd rather be conservative than aggressive here. And the reason why is this green tends to roll off at the back and the front and the middle there. So it's just something that pitches more in the central part of the green is really what's required.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. That is a really good shot landing close to the flagstick. Birdie chance now for Jordan Spieth.
Oh, I thought they'd at least pick up a shot. Birdie looked like a sitter. Now at par.
So a tester from 4 feet. Good effort and a good par putt. Well, Frank, as we arrive at the par 4 14th, just 345 yards, our players no doubt are looking for a little advice from a guy who's been there. You've done it at the highest level. What's the right play here?
Rich, after all these years, I think it's like a modified tee shot. And what I'm going to say with that is like a strong 3-wood, something that pitches around 270 and kicks 30 or 40 yards, finishes up about 20 yards short of the green. I think that's the best ploy. You won't be able to get at all the flags, but I think you'll play the whole under par for the week.
When's the right time to pull out the big driver and have a go at this green?
I don't think there is, but maybe you at home should try.
Well, that's what separates the good players from the great players, the ability to get it that close from that kind of lie. Settles in over the putt. Makes it and moves to 1 over. Now teed up at the 15th hole. It is the final par 5 here at Quail Hollow, 577 yards. And Frank, I remember this hole well. McIlroy stiffed a 5-iron on his way to making eagle, his first PGA Tour win. That came back in 2010.
And the opportunity exists again here. Under 600 yards, plays downhill off the tee. Those 2 bunkers on the right are perfectly situated. That second one about 310 yards to it. So something straight at that one with a little draw will set up that mid-iron or long iron that has to be hit very high and uphill.
Well, that was a beautiful drive, Frank. Really good position to take advantage.
Sitting up beautifully in the fairway. That just came out blazing. As soon as it hit the green, it was never going to stop.
Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. On the green and looking at a birdie opportunity. Jordan Spieth can really roll it, has good feel, and let's see what he does with this putt. So with that, the score is now at even par. At last, we have arrived at the start of one of the most daunting finishing stretches in all of golf here at Quail Hollow. The 16th is a par 4, 508 yards, Frank.
And this hole was made even more difficult when they pushed that green further left to bring the water more in play with the second shot. I mean, it's a great par 4. It's strong in every single department.
Not the longest, but not bad. 295 yards in the fairway. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Frank, I think that's going in the bunker.
Looks like it.
Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Well, that's what the great ones do. From the rough, they use their skill and their strength to get it out and get it close. Workmanlike hole. He walks away with a par. Frank, the 17th here at Quail Hollow. It is all you want.
And a bit more, actually. The only advantage the player has, it plays a little bit downhill. But when you look at the lake in front of you, if there's any swirling breeze out there, it just becomes a nightmare trying to choose the right club. Hazard.
Maybe wet.
Oh, that's off the beaten track. That's got 5 minutes to find it. Second shot.
And he's made the green. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. That's a par, and that keeps the scorecard clean, still even for the round. Here we are, the 18th hole at Quail Hollow. Simply put, Frank, a player needs to hit maybe his best tee shot of the day.
I would agree with you, Rich. If you were to measure this hole from trees on the left to trees on the right, it's actually a really wide fairway or expansive land. But that creek that just meanders its way through the middle of this hole completely changes the nature of this hole. And consequently, you hit the nail on the head. If you don't hit a good tee shot, you will rack up something here. And I've got no idea how big it would be.
Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity.
It's no snack, though.
So a good performance today, 71. Frank, once again, we saw a lot of outstanding golf here at Quail Hollow.
And we saw why this is such a great driver's course, Rich. The fact that so many holes bend in different directions, the ability to hit the correct tee shot, and the reward you get when you do it. Quail Hollow certainly stands up to the best in the country.
We enjoyed it from the tower. For Frank Nobilo, I'm Rich Lerner, saying so long until next time.